AfroBasket. It's in Group B, and it's the former champions Angola just trying to get through to the knockout stages against the Central African Republic, who themselves are also former champions, but one of these teams is going down. It's a win and go on, lose and go home and counter. There is no maths involved. It's just straight out 40 minutes. Who can win the game, get through? Daniel Routledge with Ryan Greco for the last time in Dakar, and it's been a fantastic few days, and yet we have a do-or-die game still to come in front of us.
What a better way to end our time in Dakar in the group stages here. With Group B, we've got a game. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Central African Republic, their faithful is out, loud and proud for all to see. They've been out and just making a whole bunch of noise during this entire during the entire festivities here in Dakar, and really they're going to be hoping to see if they can will on their team to the next round now.
Well, the good news is the winner of this team gets to go to Tunisia and play a quarterfinal. The bad news is they're slated to play Senegal, who've looked really good over the last couple of days, but get there first, worry about that later, and well, it promises to be a very intriguing game, very fascinating game. The Central Africans have been entertaining on the court. Angola haven't quite lived up to what we expected and struggled at times, but have given themselves an opportunity here to make it through, and it's all about getting to that second week right now. That's all that matters. Win today, and if you've got any issues that need righting, you can right them. And now we're going to have the two national anthems. First of all, the national anthem of Angola. And now the national anthem of the Republic of Central Africa. Well, we've heard that sung 3 times by those fans, and that is the loudest they've sung it today. Here's our 3 officials, Mr. Fabrizio, Mr. Boris, and Mr. Nagai for today's game. And there feels and appears to be more Angolan flags in the venue than there has over the previous 2 days, so we could be in for quite a tasty atmosphere, because the Central African fans behind Senegal have been the best supported team here, and well, it's all set up, isn't it? Essentially, forget what they told you, the knockouts start today. They start here in Dakar. It's almost a round of last 16, if you like. This is how you get through to the quarterfinals.
It really is, Dan, and really you're just taking a look now. This is actually the first time that the Central African Republic's had a chance to touch a basketball. They were a little late, maybe coming to the stadium right now, but it looks like they're in full form. There's a big dunk there in the warm-ups just to get the fans just hyped up a little bit more. And I mean, honestly, this has actually been one of the games we've really been looking forward to all day. Of course, Senegal being the spectacle that it is, it's an event. But this is a game right now. There's a big difference. This is a game that could result a huge, could mean a huge result for either country. And really right now, Central African Republic have to be looking at this with their fans behind their back. They got nothing to lose.
Well, they certainly haven't, and everything to gain in front of them. And here's the Angolan lineup, and it's been fits and starts for them. We've seen the likes of Moreira coming up big in the overtime period in the game that they snatched victory, and we've seen Moras at times coming up. Other guys, Reggie Moore as well, guys who come, but they haven't done it together and consistently in a way that we expect from Angola. And maybe, you know, that's us rather than them, but it's what we've come to expect.
It really has, and as you're seeing the Central Africans, and that's Yannick Moreira right there. Yannick, he's going to be a guy that they're going to need to see get going immediately. This is a guy who he's developed a bit of a bad habit in this tournament of pretty much waiting until the second half until he's really started asserting his will and getting to the line and getting to the bucket. He needs to change that up right now, because the Central Africans are going to give him no quarter. They're going to be forcing him to make plays right away. They're an extremely physical team. They love getting in your face. They're much like the Senegalese in their physicality. They're just giving up slightly a little bit of size, but that, make no mistake, they're going to make Angola work for this one. Meanwhile, Angola, they've had some notoriously slow starts to this point. That's kind of become their MO at this point, to the point where it actually cost them a victory against Morocco, because they could just never seem to really get a run going. And it was actually the Moroccans who got the run going. And that's the reason why Angola's in this situation tonight, Dan.
Well, Group A isn't quite done yet. Mali are currently beating Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire had all sorts of issues in this group. They are not going through, obviously. Mali are winning 51-28, and that will just seal that off in terms of who finishes where. They're at half-time, so hopefully they'll be done before we get off air, and we'll be able to give you the full lineup of the quarterfinals before we leave tonight. But will these fans be heading north to Raditz, just outside Tunis, for the knockout stages and a game against Senegal? That's what awaits the winner of this competition, this game right now, and the two teams are starting to make their way out. There's the coach Silva of Angola,
and he's got to be looking right now to get his team. You could see it in the huddle. He was all fired up, trying to get his boys going right away as we start this game. As we kind of alluded to, Angola, they gave up a 20-point lead in the first quarter to Uganda in the first game, and just never was able to separate themselves from Morocco. Never had a lead of more than 4 or 6 points in that game specifically. So they've never really gotten out to a big lead in this entire tournament, which is shocking considering the pedigree on the floor for this team.
Well, could this be the day where they start out hot? Because we'd be interested to see what they look like as front runners. We know what they're like as chasers, but let's see if we get the chance to see them as front runners. We're almost ready to tip it off. The final game of the group stages, the final game here at the Marie Sandai Stadium in Dakar, Senegal of AfroBasket 2017. And it is Angola who get things started. And coach, oh, he went to make a statement, trying to dunk it home. And, well, they get 2 points through Cipriano.
And that is exactly what you want to see if you're the Angolan bench. Getting fired up right away. Your point guard going up. Conseco trying to make that statement, as you said.
Gary trying to find some space. Stepped under nicely. His shot doesn't go. It's batted up in the air. And Jimmy Chimragbai was in there wrapping up the jump ball.
There we go.
And there's chatter. You can see how much the game means.
Oh, you can see. And Moreira, and there it is. Moreira going for a fight with Dijan Rabai for the basket there. And you want to see that from Moreira. He's been very aloof, it seems, at times throughout this tournament. But none of that right now.
Gary drives in off the glass. Great finish. And they're jumping up and down behind the basket.
And Kagere, what a handful he is on the offensive end.
And the Vuvuzelas get louder to try and put Moraes off, and it works.
You can see Angola right away. They know what Dijan Rabai's MO is, and they're not taking any of it right away, just giving him the shoves, forcing him on his heels, so to speak.
Well, that's not a great pass, and it's ended up in the hands of Moreira, and they had to commit the foul there to stop the ball on Anunfio. And we can't forget, of course, that Michael Makongo got injured in the first half of the first game, out for the remainder of the tournament. Even if they do go through, he's not going to be able to play next week with that knee injury. He said he's born a soldier, die a soldier. He's hoping his teammates can go out there and win the game for him. And there's an offensive foul called there as Mingas was a little too aggressive in the low post.
You see these fans, my goodness, just over in that supporter section. Incredible energy right now. And Central Africa now trying to see if they can take another lead.
You see they've been a very aggressive driving to the basket. That one doesn't go from Grabongo, who's played well. That's going to be stolen away. Kasangi chases it back and lays it in.
And Kasangi heads up play there, just jumps the pass, and something that Central Africa loves to do, reckless abandonment on defense. They will take chances time and again if it means they're going to get on the board.
Mingas. Moras back to Conceição. Mingas backing down, he's double teamed. Well, you don't want to help off Moras. He doesn't make them pay that time.
One thing we forgot to mention, some great conflicting styles here. Central Africa, they like to run. Angola, they like their half court.
Good block from Conceição. There's Nanafio got to the basket, and quickly down the other end is Moras scoring.
And Moras giving the Central Africans a taste of their own medicine, taking it right to the hoop. But that's one thing that he's very capable of doing, and it's getting chippy.
It is. And foul is called on Moreira, but you can see this is very early in the game, very physical. Both teams trying to establish themselves.
Yep. Well, there's the replay there of Moreira. Murray, he's going to be a big factor for Angola here. Their starting point guard. It's hot in here. We're looking at about 30+ degrees right now at this point. A lot of people have been in this arena so far. But as we alluded to in previous games earlier today, I think whoever moves on from this is going to have a distinct advantage in Tunisia when it comes to endurance. Fatigue will not be a factor for them in those arenas.
Well, that gives Central Africa a 5-4 lead, 3 minutes in. kicks the ball back out. It's a bit low, but he picks it up. Trying to find some room, and he draws the foul. It's going to be on Grabongo.
And Herrera now getting himself to the line. He's had some trouble from the charity stripe though, but regardless, you see the backup here. You know, he's just so long, Dan, and if he's able to just turn himself on you and he gets you off balance, you have no choice but to try and either foul him, or because standing straight up on him, he's just going to reach right over to the rim and just lay it in off his fingertips. Makes good on the first free throw.
Well, the bulk of the Angolan fans have moved down to that end because they were outnumbered at the other end. And we thought might have more chance watching their own baskets going in.
They're celebrating now. They're getting loud. But they're just getting drowned out by the Central African faithful.
Good steal. Herrera keeps it in the half court. Here he is. He'll take the elbow jump shot. And Paolo will recycle.
Not a bad decision there, though. I mean, he saw that he had the space, and he's been practicing those shots ever since the very early parts of this day.
A 24-second violation.
And once again, there it is. Even a team as experienced as Angola, I guess they're kind of losing it towards the sounds of the fans and everything, just kind of losing track of time here. And there's a timeout.
We've played, 3.5 minutes? It's Angola 6 and Central Africa 5 here. Timeout is called on the play. Well, there's a few days off after this one as everybody who's been successful here relocates to the north in Tunisia. And you can join our coverage there starting Thursday as the quarterfinals take place.
So far, pretty even battle here. Just about everything is even. Rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, score.
Well, neither team landed an early blow. Anuncio. Ruggieri. Shot clock down to 6. Good head fake. Good strong move and a finish. Grabongo puts it in. He'll go to the line for an extra free throw.
And Grabongo, a big factor in that Uganda game. It was finishes like that in the and ones. Look at that. Gets Herrera all the way up. Anytime you can get a much taller defender off his feet like that and finish, just a testament to how physical the Central African Republic team is.
Well, I make that his second personal foul as well. There's no movement on the benches yet. It's a bit of a gamble leaving him in there this early. Offensive foul called off the ball. I think it's Conceição on the far side, is it?
That's an odd one. Oh, there looks like there's going to be a little bit of talking and a bump there. And it's Grabongo that bumped Conceição.
Well, nobody taking a step back, put it that way.
Yeah. And that's what we came to expect.
Yeah,
both of
that's
these
what we came to hope for, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
so much on the line.
Yep.
You want to see them lay it all out there. As long as they stay the right side.
Yeah.
of the line.
I think every player here knows what's at stake.
There we go with the crossover and the pull-up three. Just a little too much adrenaline in that one. What's the cross court? Lot of time and space for Paolo. It's halfway down, but it doesn't go. Good offensive rebound in there from Mingus. Moras will try from behind the arc.
Moras no good.
Pulls it in. Oh, flared out to the corner, Kusangi, but not allowed the defender to recover.
Yep, no tape on the hand today, no problem for Moras.
Top of the key, little short, and Gary pulls in the rebound. Driving through to, oh, where did he come from to block that, Paolo? And the bounce pass to Conceição, and he stuffs it down.
What a throwdown there, Conceição. And Paolo putting on his best Senegalese impression there with a huge rejection. What an effort there on defense and offense for the Angolans.
Well, that's an awkward shot, and he turns to the referee and says, I got caught on the arm there, Kusangi, but the referee says, carry on.
Yeah, you can imagine with everything on the line here, they're going to let a couple of things go here and there. Let the boys play, if you will.
That's for the jumper, and Chumavai has been in and around all the rebounds he can. Grabongo loves to attack. Whoa, he just took out our cameraman as well. And we're going to get a substitution. I think he's all right, our cameraman. He took one for the team right there.
Yep, no, he's fine. He's just seen that time and again from Herrera. He's a guy that really likes to kind of get in his own head.
There's the block.
Yeah, great effort there.
And then it leads to this dunk.
Yeah, trying to hold on a little bit.
Here we go. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Grabongo's on his way.
Nobody's safe.
Yeah, bringing you as close to the action as we can get. Fabu into the game. Thinks about the quick three. Takes it. Doesn't get it. Chimarabe does get it.
And Fidjin Rabai, he's got to feel good about that one.
Well, the Central African fans certainly feel good about it. It's deafening. Cipriano. More posting up, and once he gets position, he's hard to shift off the block.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's been, without question, one of the top guys on this Angolan team, despite the fact that he comes off the bench. I mean, he tends to get more minutes than Moreira, who he usually subs in for. And you just see he's just got a real smooth confidence about him when he's under the rim.
Here he is with the ball, backing down, using his strength, and just using his forearm to push back with Zengoi.
Yeah, you see it there. You kind of have to more lean into your shoulder on those ones. You can't really create separation with your arm.
Plenty of space for the three ball, but Fortes can't make it.
There we go.
Yeah. Pahua. Backing out. And that's a massive three-pointer with the shot clock ticking down, but it doesn't go. Moore thought about the three, turned it down.
What a screen.
Cipriano hits it.
Excellent shot.
7 minutes gone, 11 points apiece.
Moore doing a great job there, keeping his body to the side there, not blocking a defender, but setting a screen. Open look, and here we go. Angola on the attack again.
Mingus with the steal. Moore has it. It's batted up in the air. And out of bounds. It'll be possession to Angola.
You can see Moore there he was ahead of every other Angolan player, but he had his head looking back the entire time. And here he is. Look at that screen. He just creates just enough space, and he has that habit. And you see it time and again that his shooters use behind him, where he just shuffles just a little bit inside as he sets the screen to create the space.
Again, a little bit too physical in the low post. Mahua is going to be called for the foul as he was trying to match up with the bigger Ambrosio.
Ambrosio, once again, this is actually a much wider Angolan lineup on the floor right now compared to what started off this game, and we're seeing the difference here. Not a bad decision, though, as we see Ambrosio making that first shot. Dan, you have to think, start off the game, okay, let's get our athletes out there. Let's run with these guys. Maybe get them a little tired down. We know we have the deeper bench, and then bring in some of the bigger guys now to just kind of start imposing their physical will. You can imagine now the Central Africans maybe feeling just a little bit fatigued with all these fouls.
Well, Angola now with a slender advantage. Somebody gets past the initial defender and then get caught from behind by Fortes.
Fortes has got to be a little frustrated with that one because he didn't have to be there in that moment. He was maybe thinking about the steal. You could see he was looking, and then just as the crossover came, he knew right away there was no avoiding it. Sometimes it's just better to trust your teammate on defense.
When 10 guys, somebody will go to the free throw line trying to even things back up again, but that one is drifting off to the right. A little shrug of the shoulders from the coach.
Those are the ones you can't give up against Angola. They've capitalized time and again against teams that can't finish their free throws. Even though they lost that game to Morocco, a big reason why they were still in it is because they were making their free throws and Morocco wasn't.
Look how far Ambrosio had to come, but now he's making his way all the way back, and the double team knocks the ball loose. There's all sorts of pressure, but he handles it well and then picks the wrong option on the pass, trying to get it to Pahua.
That was a great pass. That one was actually on number 10, Pahua. He has to be aware. He's got to keep his head up and have his hands ready to receive that pass because there was nobody around him and he was under the rim.
Costa. Cipriano. Fortes fires up from behind the arc, little short, with the rebound.
In Central African Republic, they'll take that every single time. Any chance that they can get Angola to settle for a three-pointer with a hand to the face, they know that they've won that battle, even if it's made.
Blue. Ngoy, so pumped to get the ball, he just wanted to shoot it straight away. Ambrosio runs down his man. That's got to be a charge. It is the charge. He knocked two of them to the floor.
Great effort there by the Central Africans. Could tell by the body language. Look at this. You knew he was going to come in. Takes the step. Both of them perfect unison. Almost.
Boom. He's gone bowling.
Absolutely. Well said.
He's the ball there. The Skittles.
There's going to be a timeout now.
1:25 to go. Angola lead this do or die game. Winner goes on. Loser goes home. 13 points to 12 the score. And, well, it's been everything we were hoping for this morning. We were chatting about the games, and we were hoping this one would be a barn burner. And the first 8.5 minutes certainly happened.
Absolutely, and when you have to do 4 straight games, you'd hope that by the last one that there's going to be something interesting to talk about, but we knew coming into this day that this was going to be the most important game on the docket. And so far we have not been disappointed. I'm sure the fans haven't been disappointed. The viewers at home haven't been disappointed, and we'll see if it's going to continue this way. But as far as everything else is concerned, Angola, a couple of things they could really work on right now is just settling for better shots. They were doing very well in the very beginning of that, but last couple of possessions, they've been settling for three-pointers with a hand in the face, whereas the Central African Republic, they kind of have to start maybe possibly, they're a running team. They are a good running gun team, but we have seen flashes of brilliance from their half-court offense, and this might be a good time for them to start settling down and really giving themselves an identity in what they want to do.
Well, we've got 10 guys back on court following the timeout. And Sangi will inbound. Somebody can't get free, so he opts instead to get it to Fabu. Somebody this time does get free with a little fake, but he traveled with it. They're going mad behind the basket, but the little head fake has kind of slipped almost, and he's shuffled his feet.
And around this time, this is the 4th game being played on this floor. There's only so much maintenance you can do on a floor that's been the result of so much basketball in such a short amount of time.
Moore stumbling through, gets it to go. A bonus is coming his way as well.
Just body control. Reggie Moore is so good at that. Look at this, just draped all over, but the composure, and that's really just he knows how to use his body. You know, him, Najah, Abdelrahim, a lot of these other players that we've seen throughout these group stages here in Dakar, they're all just players that know how to take and absorb the contact, use their width. Unfortunately misses that though, and just finish at the rim after the contact.
Inside the final minute we go. Goy keeps coming back to the ball. Fabu's picked it up now at the halfway line. He's in trouble. He needs some help, and he finds some. But the shot clock is down to 6.
Yep, they got to take a shot here.
Saying he goes all the way. Take a layup instead.
What a decision. Great job.
Quick glance up at the clock. So, whoa, it's a bit too high. Ambrosio, and it's a turnover. And there's just over an offense to go. Look at that, attack the basket.
Just a little bit of time, using that right hand to kind of guard himself while still going up. And Kasangu, he's got to be a crowd favorite the way he attacks the basket.
Well, it's inbound to him, and he's going to run some time off the clock.
Smart decision.
There's a look up at the shot clock now, and it says 10. Drives in, attacks the hole, foul called.
He's just so long and athletic, taking full advantage right now of the smaller defender on him.
And he'll shoot 2.
Look at that. Almost had 2 there if he was just a little bit softer touch. That. And the crowd's loving it.
They sure are.
And the press is on now. Final 10 seconds. No, it's not though. They're going to follow up.
Cipriano will slow it down. Now he attacks, drives in, goes up. Oh, he's blocked. No, there's a foul. There's a foul in there. And well, let's have another look. It goes up. It's when you go down, that's the thing. You're all right straight up. He kind of intimidated him, Ngoy, but once you go down, the referees almost always call that.
Yeah. It's just one of those situations, wrong place, wrong time.
No, it rims out now.
And I can imagine the Central African bench going, the ball never lies, because they wanted an offensive foul with the knee up.
He makes them both 0.7. It's going to be a heave from Samedi from three-quarter court.
Oh.
Wasn't a million miles away, was it?
No,
10 minutes played, and we are, as we were when we started, the game is level, and we're no nearer to knowing which of these two teams will be heading to Tunisia. It's 16 points apiece at the end of the opening quarter here in Dakar. Well, let's have a look at the numbers here in this first quarter. Angola shooting the ball better inside and worse outside, but as you'd expect, 16 points apiece. It doesn't make that much difference at this stage.
You can see in those highlights as Conceição, trying to get it going right away for the Angolans. Just the fast break pace of the beginning of this game was something to behold, and as we expected though, Dan, it has slowed down a little bit. Both teams now starting to try and feel each other out, understanding that unnecessary risks and fouls are very much against the status quo if they want to move on. And you can see Coach there, he's excited though. Central African showing some great defense though. Let's have a look at the stats, but once again, yeah, this one is win or go home. This is, as you said, the first knockout match that you are going to see here in AfroBasket 2017. Interesting fact though, both of these teams consistent from the free throw line, considering, you know, towards the mean of the rest of this tournament, both shooting above 70%, but both shooting atrociously from the three-point line. 25% for the Central Africans and only 12% for the Angolans.
Costa. Moore with the spin along the baseline, goes up strong. Defense did well, but there's an offensive rebound in there from Ambrosio, who can't put it back. I think that's on Moore on the rebound.
And Moore was complaining to the referee earlier about wanting a foul. Turns right around, comes back in, tries to go for the ball, and he's the one that ends up getting the call. And now here he is once again. That's something he's been doing consistently though. He's been trying to work over the refs a lot during this tournament.
Well, just a little shove in the back of Ngoy. Somebody. Ngoy. Shot clock, got to shoot, not time for passing.
The fan's not aware of the shot clock violation. God bless them, they don't seem to care.
Just on to cheering the next thing.
I tell you, these fans, there's not a negative bone in their bodies unless it's a free throw for the other team.
Nice drive to, oh, he's missed it, and the tip doesn't go from Ambrosio. It's on the floor. Who's got it? Samedi.
Samedi, a heads-up play. He wanted it more than any of the Angolan players, and now he's going to run a play.
Ngoy, nowhere to go. Needs some help. Gets it. Three-point shot. There's Ngoy going for it again.
Yep, off the foot.
Came off his foot.
Not a bad shot though from Kasenju. He had the corner look, had enough space, just decided to let it fly. That's one of those things where, you know, you get the second offensive board back, they've kicked it out, you're kind of safe, and of course, the Angolan defender, he's going to be a little bit tired as well. He's just going to be looking there to keep his hand out, especially with the humidity in this arena. And so why not? Let it fly, take a chance.
Well, we got changes being made by both coaches. We're still tied at 16. Costa. Cipriano. English going to work, and he got pushed by Kagari.
Well, he's pointing at him now. Okay, it still continues to be chippy out there. Mingus with the finger wag over at
Ray hits for three.
And Kagari, that just was not his defensive set. It's a finger wag at him and then a shot in his face. That right there. Three-pointer is good. Once again, we've talked about this before, Dan. We've never really seen Angola throughout these group stages go on any kind of a real run. Could this be the time they finally do it?
Well, they've spent most of the tournament behind, haven't they?
They have. The best run I think they've ever had, or the biggest lead even to that point, has been, well, aside from the overtime in Uganda, was about 6 points against Morocco. And Morocco just stormed back.
Pulls up for three, rattles out. Good rebound from Mingus. Rearranged pass finds Mingus inside off the glass.
What a find. That was just pretty. The hang time and awareness you have to go one end, breaking around, and right around his defender's waist, too. What a finish.
Kasange. Nananfio has it batted away. Cipriano kind of lost it. Now he has it back, takes it straight to the basket, but no joy. Kasange will run it the other way. Jamari Bayard's already hit 1-3, doesn't hit that one.
Nope. One thing about Digim Rabai, though, we're not seeing him yelling at himself or getting upset unnecessarily. He knows what's at stake right now.
Alley-oop to Souza, and he went up. He's still swinging around. Costa tossed it up to him.
De Souza. Oh, so close. So close there. And he hasn't gotten many minutes on the floor. I think that was the first play he was really involved in there. Costa on the floor now too. And now we see a very guard-centric lineup here now for Angola. And it looks like they're ready to start running as they have the 21-16 lead. Not a bad idea when you're up like this right now, because we're seeing a couple of the Central African players on the floor. They've eaten up some considerable minutes so far.
Well, Angola now sneaking out to a 7-point advantage here. Sangu. Rabai can't convert. Mingus with the rebound.
Missed opportunity there. He had a wide open Samdi cutting to the basket there.
Traveling violation.
Digim Rabai giving Sandy some conversation, but now Sandy talking over to Kasangju, possibly saying, I was wide open there. Got to have better decision making than that.
Samdi. Into Guguri. Nice pass. Somebody with the head fake, and Costa recovered late, committed the foul.
And Samdi that time, once again, luckily this time they find him. Look at that right there. A good fake, good ball fake. Otherwise, he really most likely would have been blocked there. Fortunately, standing at only 5'11", 180 centimeters. He's going to be in tough against just about every opponent he faces. But he knows how to move without the ball, and that's something you always need from your point guard.
Somebody makes the first. Not the second. And the rebound ends up in Angolan hands.
Well, here's Conceição.
Mingus fakes the three. Backing down, backing down. The shot clock's getting low. He needs to go quick here. Just got it off in time, but it kind of got stuck there, didn't it?
It really did. And now Angola, after building up that lead, have hit a bit of a lull here. Still holding on to a 6-point lead, though. 2 possessions. And the Central Africans now bite into that, and there's going to be a foul now off the ball. It's going to be on number 4, Olimpio Cipriano for Angola.
Just not allowing Kagere along the baseline. I think there's a timeout as well. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half of this game. What amounts to a round of the last 16, because it's a straight knockout. Whichever one wins goes through to the quarterfinals. And it's Angola who lead 23-17.
And you can see the Central African Republic, they got to draw something up here, get themselves on the board. So you can see in the background of that shot there, the Central African fans are starting to now move around the entire arena. And here's a look at the Angolan bench, and they're thinking to themselves, okay, we've built up a lead. It's time to get a few stops here. Central African Republic haven't really shown they know exactly what they want to do yet offensively. And if we can at least force a turnover, preferably up at the top of the perimeter, and go on another big run, we've got the bodies and the athleticism to throw it down hard. Maybe they can start almost breaking the will of the Central African Republic team that's as physical as they are. You know that they've got to be a little bit gassed in this situation, going up against a team as big as Angola.
Well, they need to start finding ways to score here, CAR, because they've only got 1 point in this quarter. It was 16 points apiece at the start of the period. It's 23-17 right now. Here's Grabongo onto Samadi. Rabai. Grabongo drives down the lane, tough shot, doesn't go. Ball is loose and Conceição chases it down. De Souza had leaked out, but he's going to take it himself over the halfway line and hand it on to Cipriano. Cipriano fires up for 3. Conceição with the rebound. All right, has his turn. This time Mingus boards it. And Cipriano can't convert. Out of bounds it'll be, or is it a foul? I think it's a foul on De Souza.
A foul on De Souza as he was going for it. Look at the replay here. Good fight for the ball, though. The Central Africans stemming the tide here. 4:51 to go. Get a stop. Get possession, but it looks like the Angolans aren't going anywhere. They're going to try and set up a press here.
Dutchler is into the game for the first time. And here he is with the rebound, but he can't convert.
It was a good effort, though. Good idea, cutting to the middle of the floor.
Mingus looking for some options, finds Cipriano. Still going, and well, it was clumsy there from Jajida Nabadada.
We saw a great job separating himself from the defender on that crossover. The defender there being Grabongo, then going from graceful to clumsy in a matter of 2 steps.
Conceição. De Souza, top of the key for 3. Another offensive rebound. Seems like Central Africa have played 90% defense in the last minute.
I think it's because they have.
Souza shot clock. Did he get it off? No, he didn't.
It wouldn't have mattered. I mean, the play was stopped. And Central African Republic, one more time, they're going to have an opportunity to get themselves back into this. They've gotten 2 consecutive stops here since that timeout. Angola actually hasn't scored a point. Once again, you just get this feeling that Angola, they just haven't seemed to find their true form yet in any of these games.
Kabongo drives in hard. Oh! Souza throws him out. Big block. But there's a foul on the 3-point shot.
Just when you think they're not finding the form, De Souza, a fantastic job rejecting that shot. The Angolan showing they can spike a shot as well. Look at that. My goodness. But Morass, unfortunately, a little bit too excited after seeing that block. Gets a little bit too close to the shooter as he was going up for the 3-pointer. And he makes good on the first one. That's number 7, William Kasangu, at the line right now for 3.
Plays for Sco in his home nation. Well, they're still struggling a little bit offensively here at Central Africa. They've not got a field goal yet in this game, and they've only got 3 free throws. Sorry, I say in this game, I mean in this quarter. They've only got 3 free throws in this period.
The toughest term in basketball commentary.
3 free throws. There we go. Got it second time around.
There you go.
All right, in the corner for 3, knocks it down. The lead's out to 7.
Angola making shots when they need to.
Yeah, throws it cross court. Sangu directing traffic. Webster there as Grabongo hits the deck with Conceição. It's knocked away, comes back to Guguer. Fires high archer. And Souza with the rebound.
That's a tough shot right there. You didn't think you'd have the ball. Get it back last second, realize shot clock winding down, let it go.
No good from Gonçalves up top, and there's a foul on the rebound. And it's Souza.
There it is, one more time. So Silvio De Souza, as it's known on the back of his jersey, he's been kind of all over the place as he now takes the seat. I guess that includes the bench as well.
Well, the foul being the 5th of the quarter means that Jean Rabai is at the free throw line.
And that's just, you know, you start seeing these free throws not going in. Make no bones about it. Those are mistakes. When you're not able to hit free throws, it's not even off of a shot, and you can't make either one of them. Those are mistakes that will cost you. And Angola is way too good of a team, even when they're not at their peak, to be doing that against.
Mingus throws it back, hopefully. But he only finds Kasangu. Kasangu goes up. Oh, spectacular layup, doesn't drop for him.
And Kasangu didn't really look like he knew what he wanted to do there.
And it's all a bit scrappy. Mingus is in there. It almost goes. But he'll have a chance from the free throw line.
I'm just having a conversation here. Just look at this. Goes up, miss, comes right back down with it, gets the foul, and just rims out. How many times have we seen that in the past 3 days, Dan?
Quite a few.
Wondering if anyone had gotten that wet spot on the other end of the floor from the earlier collision when Central Africans were working their offense. On this floor, though, on this side, well taken care of. As we said, a testament, you know, between the sweepers, the cameramen down there. Of course, you can't forget them. They've been carrying those heavy cameras on them all day in this heat. They don't have the fans down there like we do. Just an incredible job done by everybody here.
Eduardo Mingus gets full value out of the ring on that shot.
a big shot for Angola. This might be the biggest lead they've held in regulation in this tournament.
It's 9. And Central Africa still yet to score from open play in this period. I think Dodger needs to give it back out here. Kugea. Oh, poor. Oh, just got there. Just got there. Grabongo drives down the lane, but he then throws it away.
Right to the same person, too. Guess who?
Here's Moore for 3. Sangi pushing again as his pocket pick knocked away by number 3, Gonzalez.
He's showing a bit of a smile there because he knows, look at that, he just dribbles it over. And you see the big man there, number 14 for the Central African, Philip Jada Mabada, upset with him saying, I had a step on you, just give me the ball, I'll put it in. You don't have to do everything yourself. And Kasangu was kind of giving him a little smirk going, yeah, you're pretty right on that one. It all comes down to the focus.
Gabongo. Rajabai was a long way short with that.
Yep. I mean, he's probably had about as many air balls as he's had three-pointers in this tournament so far. I mean, he's one of those kind of guys with the coaching staff. They can get frustrated when he takes shots like that, but when he makes them, it's like you got the hands up to be like, and then it gets it and you go, yes!
And there's actually a timeout being called. There's 1:43 to go. This is a big 1:43 for Central African Republic here. They've got to hang on to this. They won't want to go into the locker room down double figures, especially in a game where, you know, they got 19 on the board. They might get to early 20s. And if it's double figures, that's a long way back.
It really is. And it's got to be a little bit disheartening when they start off the game flying as far as they go offensively. I mean, like you said, I don't think they've made a field goal in this quarter. It's all been free throws. And that's just astonishing. I mean, you go an entire 10-minute quarter without making a field goal. I mean, we almost saw it with South Africa as well, though, in the first quarter.
They only made 1 basket.
At 14-2 first quarter.
Well, the other thing is you're probably talking it up by saying it's all been free throws, because there are only 3 of them that have actually gone in. So they've not done much better than South Africa did, but they still have 1 minute and 43 seconds to try and find some sort of way of putting points on the board.
I like to try and stay positive for all teams. I'll leave the cold analysis.
The cynicism. It's Conceição bringing it forward.
Don't worry, folks. He's really a nice guy in real life.
It's true. Gonzalez. Paulo. Conceição inside now to Mingus. 90 seconds left in this one. He's just bullied his way to the basket there, Mingus.
What a finish. And you want to see that every time from your big man, especially if there's no help defense. Exploit that.
It's an 11-point lead. And Amphia, they need something here. They need something to take into the halftime break. Yeah, this would be nice. It isn't, though. And Conceição with the rebound. Could get worse.
Ain't that the truth?
Paulo. Here he goes again, Mingus. He's just too strong, and this time he'll get a chance to add another one from the free throw line. It's a 13-point lead now inside the final minute.
Mingus, look at that. First time around, he spun to his left, finished with the right-handed hook. This time around, expecting the same thing. The defender kind of overbears and tries to force him baseline, but falls victim to the spin cycle, and it ends up being an even worse result, as he now has an opportunity for a three-point play.
Well, for the first time in this tournament, there's a bit of a lull from the Central African fans as well. And this free throw might picked them up a little bit, but they just lulled down a bit, not dancing quite as much. Still some whistles and vuvuzelas, but not quite as loud as it was.
No, and also for the first time in this tournament as well, Angola's holding a double-digit lead in regulation.
Travel.
Yep.
For Boo, just, well, you've got to say good defense because he jumped in front of him.
Yep. Yeah, great recognition of the carryover there. He's going to try and switch hands, switch feet, try and go to the basket, lean it in possibly, but excellent job reading the angle.
They have to go to Mingus again, don't they?
They should.
Till you prove you can stop him.
Yep, and that's what good teams do.
And a foul again.
Look at it, Moore's getting excited for Mingus. But once again now that's a big difference between you're seeing the top-notch, top-level teams and the teams that are still trying to figure it out. You know, how many times have we seen some of the other teams of this tournament where you're seeing a guy starting to heat up a little bit and you wait 4 or 5 different possessions until you go back to him. And sometimes it's not, to be honest, I don't think it's ever a smart idea to try and think that by mixing up your looks with another team that somehow you're going to be confusing them, unless you're at the very beginning of the game and everything's firing. But in a moment like this where, you know, there was a bit of a lull to it in the second quarter, 26 seconds remaining now, they're going with what works.
Well, Mingus missed them both and then broke his line in frustration.
Yeah. Mingus, despite missing though, he is putting some Central African players in their third and second fouls respectively, which could be huge later on.
Certainly could. Yeah, can they get a field goal before this quarter ends? Grabongo drives in. The answer is probably not, but they might get 2 more points.
That would be a good outcome, and it's crazy to think that a team so high caliber, a team that loves to run the floor the way that the Central Africans do, that there's a very good chance they're not going to record a single field goal in the second quarter.
Oh dear. When you're not making field goals, you have to make the free throws when they come.
Yeah.
He makes the second, they're up to 20. Gonzalez fakes the 3, and he just shook them all and then got tripped up by Fabu.
Tried to even throw it up there for a second, see if he could find himself on the highlight tape.
I don't think they would have given him continuation on that somehow.
Well, possibly. But maybe he was just popping up.
You can always ask the question. And Gershon Gonzalez, 21-year-old who plays for Petroleus in Angola, will go to the free throw line, trying to stretch his team's lead to 15. And it's not really anything they've done. They scored 16 in the first quarter. They've scored 17. Maximum, it's going to be 19 here in the second quarter. So not a massive change, but Central African Republic have gone from 16 to 4 in this period. And you just cannot win games. Not games anywhere, let alone one of this magnitude, going through a quarter without scoring a field goal and scoring only 4 free throws. Yeah, it doesn't get it off in time. Watch it go in. No, it doesn't. Well, there's a lot of work for the Central African Republic to do here as they trudge off to the half-time locker room. They've not registered a single field goal in the entire second quarter, and as a result, they trail by 34 points to 20.
That's just a very disappointing outing for the Central Africans in this second quarter. I mean, chance after chance. And then, of course, to top it all off, if you look at the free throws, 56%. They were shooting extremely well at the beginning of this game, and it's just dropped right down.
Bullied on the boards as well.
Turnovers 9-6. Losing the steals battle as well. I mean, you know, this has got to be one of those situations here where the Central Africans have to maybe slow it down a little bit, take a breath, and realize, hey, you know, we still have an entire half to go here. It's not like Angola's been doing anything spectacular. We really, to be honest, have just been beating ourselves.
Well, coach is having a word with them before they've gone into the locker room. So as we look back at the highlights, it is one of those things where normally we'd say, well, what is it you think they have to do in the second half? And, you know, not wanting to do your job for you, Ryan, but the answer is put the ball in the basket.
You know what, though? I don't think there's anything else I can add to that. There really isn't. It's just a matter of them getting themselves in positions where, or at the very least, if you're going to keep attacking the basket the way that they have, which they have been doing pretty well, to their credit, if you want to take any silver lining out of that quarter, make your free throws.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sometimes, you know, you think that basketball can be such a complicated game with schemes and roles and picks and plans and defensive setups and matchups, but at the end of the day, if you're not making free throws and you're not finishing your layups, if you're basically, to your point, not putting the ball in the hoop, you're not going to win.
Well, that's pretty concise and accurate summary. There's almost nothing to add to that. Ryan and I are going to take a little break. We'll be back in 11 minutes time to see if Central African Republic can put the ball in the basket. We'll see you soon. Guys, we're getting back. Okay, now listen. Well, we're slightly delayed coming back here. The lights managed to go out at halftime. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Central African Republic shooting the lights out, given they didn't make a field goal in the second quarter. But we're almost ready to go with the third. We've had confirmation from Tunisia that Mali have beaten Cote d'Ivoire. By my maths, that means that they're still out anyway, and that Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo are through. And I think Nigeria are going to finish top and play Cameroon, and DRC will finish second and play Tunisia. But that's my little back of a notebook calculation, so I wouldn't swear to it. The one quarterfinal we definitely have in the books is Morocco against Egypt, and we know that Senegal will play the winner of this game. So if I can get official confirmation before the end of our broadcast, I will, and I'll give that to you. But right now the players are making their way back out onto court, and Ryan, Central Africa have to find a way of putting the ball in the basket, same as we said before.
Yep, that's pretty much it. We'll see if they do it right now. Fun side fact there, though. It seems that the lights going out kind of re-energized the Central African fans, having a little party there halfway through halftime.
Yeah, they were really enjoying it. But they'd enjoy it even more if they could see some baskets being made at that end of the floor. That's the foul. Top of the key is good for Moras, and the lead stretches yet further to 16. Theo running backwards and forwards. Eventually, well, he nearly got it to Grabongo, but it was a bit lower than the big man wanted it.
Fortunately, it just seems like right now Angola is dictating the pace on their defense, forcing the Central Africans into every single position they want them in.
Yes. Driving along the baseline.
Good help. Will this be it?
No, it won't. It nearly was.
Well, that would have been one heck of a way to get yourselves back onto the field goal stat sheet. Look at that. That would have been, he puts that one down. That might be the, and I mean, we've seen some dunks, but that might actually be one of the top three we've seen here in Dakar.
Well, you wonder, have they noticed it? How few? They must have noticed they're not scoring, but have they noticed they haven't made a field goal? The players, the coaches must have.
Oh yeah, I was going to say
yeah.
the coaching staff. I'm pretty sure that's what Coach was talking about over there in the corner before the halftime continued. Because I mean, how can you not?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll know. We're here up with our stat sheets and our and calling the game, but these guys, they're in it.
Comes Sal. Bit of space there, and well, he spent a lot of the second quarter on the bench, Moreira, but there he is. He got that early foul trouble, didn't he?
Look at him there as he's a guy up top. They want him up there as just long limbs. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. He's going to get in foul trouble again here early in the second half as well, by the looks of it.
Yeah, turn of events there for Moreira. You can see there just going up, just so much longer and taller than his defender. And there, you know, I mean, with the hands coming down as the shot's going up, looked like he got a big piece of the ball, but not according to the referees. But Central African Republic, yet again, just not taking advantage of their opportunities from the free throw line. Finally taking one there.
Well, they've scored 6 points in 12 minutes. It's probably a bit more than that because I think they were on 16 with a minute or two to go in the first quarter. It's just not enough. Conceição.
The crowd trying to get them back into it here. There's going to be another defensive foul off the ball there.
Grabongo, he had such, well, it wasn't him, was it? It was Pahua that had such problems with Mingus in the end of the second quarter. So Grabongo trying to body him up and call for the foul.
I want to talk about a guy who's in his groove right now. That was Mingus before the halftime. See if they might go back to him again.
Conceição on the screen, doesn't go.
Conceição there. Now, I understand the pick.
That's his fourth.
Yeah.
Yannick Moreira, I'm pretty sure that's his fourth personal foul. He got 2 quick ones at the start of the first quarter and 2 quick ones at the start of the second quarter.
I'm going to be honest, that just looked like 2 players going after the ball. It's like, how are you supposed to stay aggressive going after your rebounds if you're getting called for going after the ball and someone else is being just as aggressive as you? The only problem is he just happens to be smaller.
Well, it's 8 minutes, 4 fouls.
Moreira, we'll probably not see him again. I mean, if it's going to continue like this for Angola, we may not see him again for the rest of the game.
May not need to.
My case in point.
Antheo makes the free throw.
Here we go.
Conceição. Souza. Lobbed into Mingus, back out again. Souza takes it at the top of the key. Batted up in the air. And Grabongo just couldn't get a hold of it.
It's going to be Angola ball, but De Souza. Now Mingus had the right idea, kicking it right back out to De Souza because he saw he had him open. If De Souza, to be honest, if he had just stood there, he probably would have knocked that shot right down. But I don't think he was expecting it. Shot it a little strong as he was moving forward.
Paulo. Conceição from behind the arc.
You can see he was kind of hopping up and down, hoping for it to go in, but the rim will have none of it.
Gary. Grabongo. There it is! Wow, for the first time in about 15 minutes of playing time, a field goal has been made by Central African Republic.
And they couldn't have asked it at a better time after getting a stop. It's only an 11-point game.
Conceição drives in, he's batted away.
There you go.
Kasangi goes hard, misses. Gary can't get the rebound. Paulo has it. It's 3-on-2 here. Souza just runs into him.
Yep. He's going to call it. Excellent job there. And I'm going to, honestly, I got to give a big kudos to Dijam Rabai on that one. If you see the replay, he's got not even protecting himself. He just puts his hands up and takes the contact. That's a sign of one tough player. There's all sorts of places he could have been hit there that would not have been pleasant.
And he put his body on the line for his team. And a timeout has been called here with 6:16 to go. It's 38-27 in favor of Angola. They've got to find some way of consistently putting the ball in the basket.
Well, one thing that we've seen in that third quarter from the Central African Republic, like, but it's very similar to a lot of the teams we've seen in these group stages here in Dakar, is that they're finding a way to start making those shots in that third and fourth quarter, shots that were just rimming out every single time in the first and second. But it was especially frustrating for the for the Central African Republic. Huge three there. That could have been the difference between the spine breaking or stiffening up.
What can Rabe do here as he backs down? Too strong.
Not a good decision.
And South stumbles out of trouble.
Yeah, Dijan Rabai just did not look comfortable that entire time there when he went up. He looked like he wanted to go left, but he just knew there was too many white shirts there.
Foul on the shot, and Souza will go to the line for two.
And Souza, there it is. Unfortunately, that's a case of when your man is beat. Look at this. It goes up. You've got two green shirts going up to try and block a shot, but who's there to box out the rest? I understand you want to go and contest the shot, but this is where communication is so key on your defense. And now it's resulted in 2 points that, in all reality, they really should have had that rebound. But unfortunately, that's the result that you get when you allow them to.
Oh,
And here the lights are out again.
Well, it might take some time, folks, because it was about a 10 or 15 minute delay, because it takes them a little while to warm back up. So we might be a little while before we can get things back underway. And you'll have to bear with us. We'll just pause commentary for now, and hopefully the lights will come back up shortly. Guys, we're getting back.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, the lights have fortunately come back on, so we can get things underway, or back underway, I should say. And it was Central African Republic who had the ball. And, well, they don't have it anymore.
Not the start they wanted. They had an opportunity really through this break to kind of stop, collect their thoughts, figure out what they want to do. And it just looked right there, though, that they forced the ball into exactly where the Angolans wanted them, trapped them into the corner. We're not going to be able to see a replay of it, but there was an opportunity there even to just get the ball off to one of the guards on the side. But one of the Central African players elected to try and dribble through about 3 shirts and ended up losing it.
Moore gives it back to Morris. Moore again, fakes the 3, puts it on the floor, drives in, gets all the way to the hole, overcooks it, fighting for the rebound. Souza almost has it, loses it. And, well, in the end it came off for Boo. And Angola will keep it.
There's the opportunity here for Angola to extend a lead here. Still the 3rd quarter. 5:05 to go in it.
Souza off the glass.
Good decision there, but just couldn't get it to drop. Now can Central Africa get some more shots up, some more field goals that they had going for them before the lights cut out?
Good hands. Well, the way they were shooting, maybe in the dark might have been better for them, because they were struggling. Mavai hands over to Piguet. And he's bumped.
Good decision there, but once again, you just see the length of this Angolan team. As he's dribbling by there, you see the separation. Kaguri looked like he may have been trying to get the pass off to Dijan Murbai a little bit sooner, but maybe even like a quick one left-handed shuffle around the defender would have been a little bit more suitable. But you know, this is just seemed like he was bouncing it a little too hard, lost control of it while taking the contact. This is the 2nd free throw. That's been the story, make one, miss one, or miss and miss.
Cipriano backs it out to Moore. Morris got a lot of space and time to think about that one. And Souza, who seems to be getting in the right place every time, he just couldn't quite get his hand on that, or could he? The referee's going to chat it over.
No, that looked like it was off the Angolan player there. De Souza clearly had a full hand on it when he knocked it out. And Central Africans, the right call was made, but the fans are still going to give him a hard time for even thinking about it.
Oh, it's about getting it right, isn't it? So
no,
they did that.
It's true.
Kaboo. Sengu. Shot clock at 5. Piguet drives in, tosses one up, hopefully. Gets it back, still can't score.
That's just not, it's just a lack of focus under the rim.
Oh, there's an unsportsmanlike foul here. Is that, ooh, and there's a few words being exchanged. I don't know if that was the same foul or a foul afterwards. Are they 2 separate fouls? Or were they the same foul?
Both players separating themselves quickly, and there it is, handshakes now. As Fabu shaking the hand of Morass. Both players know what's at stake right now. Neither one of them can afford to get ejected because that could be it for the rest of the tournament.
Well, let's see what we can make from the replay. Well, I think they're two separate fouls. I think this is the foul the referee at the top called, and then that elbow is the unsportsmanlike. I think they're going to end up with two different fouls. So it's just a question of, was that first one deemed shooting? If it was, it's 4 free throws. And if it wasn't, well, it doesn't matter actually. It's 4 free throws because we're over the limit. Well, this doesn't help the cause.
No, not at all. It's going to be another opportunity for Angola to extend the lead here. And the clock is now officially ticking on the Central African Republic because they're going to need to get a run of their own. 12 points is definitely not insurmountable. We've seen bigger leads evaporate here in this tournament, but given the way that Central African Republic has been playing, it doesn't look likely if they give up a even bigger lead than what they're down right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's that the positive is you're only down 12. The worst it's going to get to here is 15. But the negative is you made one field goal in, I'm just trying to do the maths on it, 16, 17 minutes.
And that's game time, not real time.
Yeah, game time. So it's about 2 hours in real time with the outages that we've had.
Simply put, they're just going to have to find ways to score. And honestly, at this point, even if it means just constantly going to the free throw line, just make your shots. I mean, you'd think that you've been to the line enough times now to kind of figure it out and go, okay, take a breath, follow through. I think you'd find that touch at this point, considering how many times the Central African Republic has really gone to the line in this game.
Just a damp spot on the floor. It needs further wiping up. Well, they haven't given up, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. Here we go, we're back.
Costa. And there's a foul off the ball, and Goy is called for it.
This game is the definition of chippy at this point. They're not really going more than about 20 seconds with that, and now there's going to be a substitution. As Dejada Mabata, is coming back in. There's another guy who's had his share of drama during this game.
De Souza a little short on the free throw. He does make the second. So it's 16 now as a result of that double foul. And they've got numbers here. Fabu is ahead of the game if they see him.
They'll work it around. You got 10 seconds on the shot clock, though.
Gouguet has to go, drives in. We have a basket as well.
You can see the Central African fans, they're applauding just a little bit quieter now. They've just been worn out between the stoppages in play and the fact that their team just haven't been able to consistently get on the board. But right there, that'll do it for them. By any means necessary at this point. And Kagera
Moore's out, he's blocked. Great chase back from Dudja. Moore's going to go at him again. This time he spins off the glass and it's the side of the board. And Dudja, oh, he's lost it.
Guys got to slow it down. They have to slow it down. Every time they've done that, they've just gotten their pocket picked.
So Brianna drives in and his shot bobbles out, but there's Moore again and he's fouled.
You didn't have Dijem Rabai, great. You got to love the effort, but at the same time, you've got two other green shirts around him. It's clear he's not going to get a clean look up. They're doing the right thing by keeping their hands up, and then he's coming in to swipe at the last minute. giving him 2 shots at the line. You've got to be smarter than that in these situations when you're down as much as the Central African Republic is.
Moore makes the first, and each one of these is a little crushing blow to Central African Republic's chances. Oh, and they're going to get a recycle as well. Well tipped out by Mingus.
If I were them, hold on to it, use the clock here, but there is only 8 seconds. Here we go.
2 more free throws.
Angolans. Another 2 free throws for Reggie Moore. Not a guy you want at the free throw line. He's one of the more consistent free throw shooters in this tournament. Knocks it down. Leads now up to 16.
Well, this is the 28th free throw that they've had, and they've made 20.
That's 21 for 29. And now look at that. That accounts for half of their points, more or less.
Same for Central African Republic. They're 14 of 25 from the free throw line. But it doesn't make for a free-flowing game. All these stoppages in play.
That is for certain.
Jim Rabai off the back of the ring.
I'm okay with that shot there. He was able to create just enough separation. Looked like he got a clean look at the rim. Just got to knock it down, but I think that's just going to be a story we're going to keep telling right up until the end of the 4th quarter in this game of the Central African Republic's woes from the field goal percentage range.
Nice. Mingus has been big.
Great find on the inside.
He's got double-figure points. He's a rebound away from a double-double, and I thought that was coming back out for a second there for Bahua.
You know what? You wouldn't be the only person in the building thinking that. Great finish, though. And it looks like the game's finally starting to open up just a little bit.
But is there enough time the cameraman's just took another one there. Player smashed into him earlier. He just got a ball in the upper thigh region.
He's okay. He's tough.
Look at him. He's straight back on the job. That's his angle right there.
Yep. Here we go.
Sangi. Well, there's nothing happening. You need to go. The time's running out. They're just too static there.
Yeah, there was no movement whatsoever. I don't think everyone is aware of what the play was that was called, because someone was waiting for someone else to move. And as a result, nobody moved. And as a result, that leads to a turnover. There's some quick words of wisdom from the coach.
Well, it'll be a shame here if as Costa drives in, kicks it out. There's a steal for Kisangi, and it's not go away. It'll be a shame if Central African Republic can't find something in this last quarter and some change here, because they've certainly been fun to watch over the last few days. They've played their part in this group stage, and even if they do go out, you'd like to see them go out playing a bit more like they can. They've just not really been anywhere near their level. That's the travel.
Yeah, it just doesn't really feel like, you know, they came in lots of fire.
Yeah, the first quarter was great.
And they just haven't, ever since then, it's just like there's been a lid on the bucket.
Cipriano breaks through the defense. There's no help anywhere.
And all of that had to do with Reggie Moore You can see he was kind of buckling around 2 green shirts. And Cipriano, as soon as he saw the right shove in the right moment, he just took full advantage. And what a finish. Now 3 seconds.
Got to shoot.
I don't think he sees it. There you go. Let it go.
On the buzzer, but it doesn't go. Well, what can you say? It was marginally better than the second quarter for the Central African Republic, but they're still a long, long way behind. They've got to find some 19 points to make up the difference. Otherwise, Angola are going to Tunisia. It's 51-32 in favor of the Angolans. Well, they're the second stage of the round of 16s. Latvia, Serbia, Spain broke the hearts in Istanbul with a 73-56 win over Turkey, and the Russians with a big win against Croatia, running out 101-78. So they're through to the quarterfinals, and it looks like Angola on course for the quarterfinals here in AfroBasket 2017. On course for the quarterfinal, shooting 33% from 2, 17% from 3.
Central Africans
got so many from the free throw line, and they've seen their opponents miss so many from all distances. That's why they're leading by 19.
Yeah, that's you know, you can't really make much more analysis about it. Central Africans have only made 6 field goals inside the 2-point or inside the 3-point line this entire game. A considerable chunk of their points have come from the free throw line, but even there, it's just been the same story. It's make one, miss one, make one, miss one, and when you're down as much as they are, you can't afford a 50% shot rate from the free throw line. You got to make something happen, even if it's making something happen when the clock is not running, and that's got to be one of the more frustrating things if you're a coaching staff watching that, because they're literally giving you free points with no time taken off the clock, but you're just choosing not to make them.
Well, here's Mingus. He was very effective from this spot in the end of the first half. Here he goes at the start of the fourth. And Nanamfio grabs the loose ball.
Dijan Rabai, great job on defense there.
Kagera drives the length of the floor and pulls up, kisses one in off the glass.
And they're going to have to look to Kagera at this point, because he seems to be the only one that's getting anything going for the Central Africans on offense. Still want to see the ball moved around, but at this point, they'll take anything.
Moore fakes the 3, nice little spin, drives in under all sorts of pressure, nearly got it to go.
It's going to be Angolan ball. Take a look here, spin move. Yeah, it did look like Dijan Rabai was the one that kind of knocked it out with 2 hands there. Plenty of time on that one.
But no result except for an offensive rebound and a new 14 seconds, which is probably better than the 3-pointer at this stage of the game. Costa running, tough shot, doesn't go. This time Central Africa get the rebound, and here goes Kagera again. Lobbed inside.
Someone's got to move around for him, give him an option.
And Goy doing the best he can, but Moore standing tall, and here's Moore running the break. Moore with a head fake. Oh, great play. Reggie Moore, he was the one playing the defense, and yet he was leading the break as well.
And that just shows you, veteran guy. Oh, and here we go, some more trouble. There's a steal. How many times have Central African played right into Angola's hands there in the corners?
Sorry, I'm just laughing because Mingus and Moore ambled over the halfway line. They sort of looked at each other and go, why are these guys stopped? We could just stay here and play D. Oh, nice work. Oh, not quite. And Gonzalez couldn't quite tip it in. And Amphio standing, running, Moore standing, charge called.
Just lack of focus, complete lack of focus on that one. And Ganafio was right there, had a wide open man to just a step sooner, just pass it off. Get him to find it under the rim. Instead, he waits until he's already making contact with the defender, and that's one of the easier charges that the refs are going to call all day.
This Moreira, he's played almost none of this game because of foul trouble. And there he is trying to make an impact with the rebound, goes up and lays it in.
There's Morero with the lay-in. Still wonder why he doesn't dunk though. He's so long, 6'11". But they'll take it.
They're up 21. Ngoy. Well, the funny thing is, we said this about Angola the last couple of days, that they've not really been scintillating, have they?
No, they haven't. But
they're going to be there.
No, they're going to be there, and you know, even in this game, to be honest, that they went on one stretch, but this is not so much about Angola playing well as it is about Central Africa beating themselves. I don't think anyone who's been watching this game could say anything different, because the Angolans, to the most extent, they're kind of doing what they should be doing, taking advantage of the fact that Central African Republic has gone ice cold from the field throughout this entire game after the first quarter. We're already in the fourth quarter, and I think they made more field goals in the first than they have in the rest of the game. But you know, sometimes that's just the luck of the draw, even.
Well, there is that other thing, is third game in 3 days, and how you react to that. Do you quite have enough in the legs? And Angola certainly have done, and maybe it's taken a little more out of Central Africa over the last 2 days.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. I mean, the way that Angola plays is a very steady pace, half court, methodical, the way that they move their plays. Hasn't necessarily been a great performance, but it's gotten the job done time and again. It definitely has here. Whereas the Central African Republic have literally had to run through everybody that they faced. Sometimes it works, and sometimes in this case it hasn't.
Shot clock. Another 24-second violation. And
you can just see the faces of agony over in the supporters section for the Central Africans.
That's the thing in tournament play. You have to be able to do it every day. That's why it's so difficult to win these continental prizes, because it's the grind as well as the, obviously you need talent, you need ability, you need good coaching, you need maybe a bit of luck here and there, but you need good conditioning as well, and you need to be able to mentally be ready every day.
And that's something that the Angolans, through all of the 2000s, through even this decade, despite the fact that, you know, they haven't found the same level of success, they've always found themselves in the second round. They've always found themselves threatening to take it all home.
You know, because most leagues play once or twice a week. I mean, okay, if you're in the NBA, you'll play a bit more than that. If you're in the EuroLeague, you play a bit more than that. But most leagues play once or twice a week, and it's different to international tournament play.
Yep, and you also add in the fact that a lot of these players in the Angolan squad, they're very familiar with each other, even at the professional level.
That's a long three from Gonçalves, and he knocks it down.
Yeah, that one looks like that could have been the, with 5.5 minutes to go, there's still a hope, but that right there could have been the backbreaker. Oh, good move.
Yeah, nice from Ngoy.
Yeah, we need more of that. And it just always seems every time there's a big bucket by Angola, Central African Republic, their ears kind of perk up a little bit. You see a good move there, but they just can't get it rolling consistently.
Ambrosio walked with it, did he? Yeah.
Yep, he did. And I'll be honest, I think Ambrosio, if he had had a chance to take a look there, see how much space he would have had if he performed the spin move to the right. It would have been just him and the rim and maybe a foul.
Here's that last three-pointer, long range one. Hits the bottom of the net.
Well, you know, a lot of these shots have been long, so why not take a step back?
Yeah, true.
And recognate.
Kasangi. Someone's
got to move out. Someone has to be out in the
shot
perimeter.
clock. 24-second violation.
Yep, that's going to be Angolan ball. They're bringing it out now. There, we take a look there. We're probably not. We may get a replay of it to see that the kick out, but in that moment where he's looking for somebody, why is everyone standing around? Everyone's just looking at him to think, oh well, you know, try and hit a fadeaway here as there's a timeout that's called. But if you're the Central African Republic, just because you don't have the ball doesn't mean you stand around. Like, that's just not good basketball, period. And it just kind of looks like mentally they've checked out at this point on the offensive end.
I think some of it's scoreboard pressure as well. You look up, you see 20 points deficit. You see 426 on the board, and you're thinking, man, we really haven't done it today. And if we played like we did yesterday, maybe we could have won this. If we played like we did 2 days ago, maybe, and some of that just gets into the psyche.
And it does, but you also have to, you know, to that point, I mean, we're also dealing with all of these players play for a professional club. They've reached the highest level that a lot of them could possibly make, and in doing so, you have to have a certain level of mental toughness to realize, okay, it's not going for us right now, but how much basketball have these guys played through their lives? You have to know you've been through the battles enough times to realize that, you know, there's no reason in worrying and wondering about the previous shot. Otherwise, you know, that's just not, it's just not smart basketball at the end of the day. You've got to have that mental toughness.
Well, we're 4 minutes, 20 seconds away from seeing Angola into the quarterfinals, which doesn't sound too much of a surprise for a storied nation like them. But, well, it hasn't come easy to them over these 3 days. But it's just about getting on that plane, and it looks like they're going to do it, because just Central Africa have melted away here on the final day.
That's a very good analogy, melted away.
Herrera got caught on the arm. A lot of fouls.
Yeah, the pace of this game has been very slow, but that works to Angola's favor every single time. They decide when we pick up the pace. They decide when we're going to stop you at the half court. They've made all the decisions as far as the flow of this game goes, because they have picked it up and finished some fast break points as well. And really, kudos to them for not playing down to their competition today. Really coming out handling their business, despite guys like Murrah getting into foul trouble. And despite the fact that they were cold themselves from the three-point line at one point, they've really just managed to kind of right the ship, it seems, almost here after that surprising loss to Morocco yesterday. So they're not going to go 3-0, but they're definitely going to have some positives to build on moving into the next round. Because even though it's not their best basketball, it's been the best basketball that they've played in this tournament.
Well, they'll face Senegal in the next round, so they're going to need to go up again.
To be honest, I think they're going to be up for it, though. I think a change of scenery will do them some good.
Ambrosio from the top of the key. And the putback is a simple one from Fortes.
It is. And that's another thing, too. Senegal is as imposing and as intimidating as they've been. They haven't faced an opponent like Angola in this tournament just yet. Whereas Angola is a little bit more battle-tested at this point.
Kamran Jabai can't convert from close range. All right. trying to find some space to the fall away. Tough shot doesn't go. It's batted out. Kusangi knocks it to Correa.
It's a good crossover there. See if he can create something here. Nice,
Little
nice move.
Skipping dance to the hole.
It's a good take, and really he's been the only one in the second half. Kagere, I mean, hands down the MVP of his team. Had some huge three-pointers in the other games that even allowed the Central African Republic to be in this position to possibly advance. And in this game, it's literally been him on the offense as far as the second half is concerned from the Central African Republic.
Well, timeout called by Angola, but they don't really need to worry. Up 22 with 2:44 to go. Only a miracle can deprive them from here.
Well said. Maybe two.
Maybe two. But the fans are still going. They're not quite as loud and as vociferous. One or two of them are feeling a touch deflated. They're just, I think they can see the end line now, and they realize that they're not going to be first to it as they had come here hoping to be. And they're going to try and raise their spirits, raise their voices one last time. And they've been a credit to their country, those fans. They've been here in force every day. They've been loud, they've been proud.
Doesn't matter what time of day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what time of day, they've backed their team. And the other thing is, the situation their team was in when the lights went out, you might go, well, should we head off? These lights might not, you know, it would have been easy to sneak out when the lights aren't out and on and nobody can see you. But they've stuck it to the end. Moreira for three. And it came off Ngoy last.
Yep. The shooting woes do continue, though, as that's one thing Angola is definitely going to have to start figuring out when they go up against Senegal and Tunisia.
Well, there's massive noise because Privet Koyamba has checked into the game for the first time. It's his first taste of the action here in the tournament. He's only 20 years of age. He's one for the future for the Central African Republic, and the fans are delighted to see him get a few minutes. There he is. His first action is to give up an and-one.
Unfortunately, though, he's got plenty of time left in his career to figure it out. He's a talent, though, standing just under 2 meters at 6'6".
Well, it's also a challenge. The first thing you've got to do walking on the court is find some way of stopping Ambrosio, the grizzled veteran,
yep.
Massive hulk of a man. And here he is with an offensive rebound. He'll go nuts if he scores.
Oh, no good. The fans really wanted that one. Maybe they'll be able to find him another one here at this point. A little feel-good story for everyone to go home to.
Yeah, something to sign off on, wouldn't it?
I'll say, you know, one thing about this Central African team, it wasn't for a lack of effort. They have played Angola hard in this. They just could not score from the field.
And there's a few words being exchanged on the court between Moreira and Kugeri. And it's because he's fouled out. And he didn't agree with the call, so he blamed the man who'd been offended.
And the fans are trying to jump all over him for it too. It gives them a little
yeah.
Well, there's a rebound now.
Okay. Fires up long two, just towed the line.
Now we're just in the minute mark now.
So he stopped cutting. Here's Kugere behind the back. Backs down, good head fake, timed it well.
The fans like that one. Just under a minute now, here we go.
And again, look at him, he's still playing hard. Still trying to knock the ball loose. But he's lost him now, and Moret lays it in.
Gets it over Kroyamba, who's a little late on the rotation there, but let's see if he can get a shot off here.
Get young Kroyamba the ball, I would. Let him have a go. Looks like he might want to go on his own here. Bit of hero ball. Oh, he's blocked though by Souza, but late whistle called.
He's on his, he needs a breath here. He's saying, just give me a second here.
Floor wipers straight in. Get up, I need to wipe this.
A big block. But the foul. There he gets by, finish at the rim. And Kagera, you could just see, he just kind of stopped in his tracks and watched him go by. He's gassed.
Yeah, he's had one of those shoelace needs fixing where I think he untied it to retie it.
Yeah, definitely looks like one of those situations. And De Souza is going to take a seat for his efforts. Solid day for him. A couple of big blocks. A couple of nice finishes.
Kagera makes the free throw. These are probably the last points that Central Africa will score in FIBA AfroBasket 2017. Barring an offensive rebound, which there isn't, because it does bobble in, and they will just cross the halfway line. Shot clock is switched off, and Angola, by hook or by crook, are on their way to Tunisia. It promised much this game, and in the first quarter it really started to deliver on that promise, but Central Africa went an entire quarter without scoring a field goal, and they never really recovered from that, Ryan.
No, they didn't, and really this is just going to be one of those situations where, you know, the fans came out, unfortunately a disappointing effort, but you know, this team, the Central African Republic, they were fun to watch, and they were fun to watch for 2 games. They were fun to watch for 2 games and a quarter, more accurately, but the last 3 quarters of their tournament was just disappointing, to say the least.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Angola, they've got to be pleased with themselves after this one, because there was a lot of questions thinking, okay, well, considering how tough it's been for them, dropping a game to Morocco, nearly dropping a game to Uganda, and coming into this and going, well, they're going up against a team that could give them a run for their money, and it looked like it was going to be that case in the beginning. But once again, that phrase, don't play down to your competition, and that's something they definitely were able to avoid this time around. And as a result, they're not going to be moving on. And as I said, they're now the ones that have been battle tested. Senegal has been the ones that have been the darlings of the tournament. They've been able to come into the home crowd doing whatever they want. As you're taking a look at the game statistics right now, they kind of speak for themselves. Really, at the end of the day, I'm going to be very fascinated to watch that Angola-Senegal game, because Senegal, they're not going to be playing in front of their home crowd. They're not going to be playing with all the hustle and bustle of it all. And there is a real distinct home court advantage to playing in this arena.
It certainly is, and well, it's going to be a fascinating game between Senegal and Angola as the group stages of FIBA AfroBasket come to an end, and the tournament comes to an end for the Central African Republic. But in the huddle there, Angola will be saying, well, we live to fight another day. Those fans are saying goodbye to their heroes. But these guys travel on up north, dear friends, to Tunisia for the quarterfinals, and who knows, maybe beyond. I think Senegal, from their performances over the last few days, will start as favorites, but you never quite know what might happen. And well, as we looked at those statistics, 11 made field goals in the game for Central Africa. You're just not going to win with 11 made field goals.
No, you're not. You're not going to win either by scoring in most of these games. I mean, you put pretty much every team, obviously, that's scored under 50 points in this tournament has came up on the losing end. You're just not going to do it with that amount of an output. And like we said before, kudos to Angola for making the shots when they needed to, not playing down. And it's, you know, the final thought I guess you could leave on the Central African Republic is that they just need to start working on the mental toughness of the game, start figuring out when things aren't going their way, the importance of continuing to move without the ball, continuing to set your plays. There was many times in that second half where it looked like people were just disinterested in the plays that were being called. And you just can't allow yourself to do that at any point in the game and expect to be successful in any facet or any level of basketball.
Well, Angola will know that they kind of dodged a bullet in this group. It's not been easy for them. You think back, they could easily have lost that first game. They trailed for 35 minutes of it. But it's not how you do it, it's that you do it. And they have done enough down the stretch to make sure they're going. And, well, who knows? They might just throw a little spanner in the Senegal works next week. But they will have to defend well for sure. And they'll have to find all the offensive prowess that they've showed in patches here over the last 3 days, but perhaps not as consistently as they might have liked here in Dakar. But as we keep saying, win and go on, and they've won and gone on.
They have. And just, you know, one more thing before we sign off, a big thank you and acknowledgement to all of the people working in the production truck outside. You can only imagine sometimes with the heat out here in the arena, those guys working their tails off from night and day, the cameramen working down on the floor, the people working at the scores table, the referees. It's just a complete and a fantastic effort from everybody here at FIBA to host this event, and for FIBA Africa as well.
Well, it's been a great few days in Dakar. It has finished. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for joining us for the last 3 days. We'll be back in Tunisia on Thursday. Goodbye from Dakar.
Thank you guys for your work. Sorry.
That's all good. You guys are good. Cheers, man. No worries. No problem.